Imagine a company so big, it makes up 20% of its country's GDP. Now imagine that same company almost losing its crown in the biggest tech revolution of our century, AI. Today, we're looking at Samsung's 2025 report. On the surface, it looks like a titan returning to its throne, but as we peel back the layers at HDIN Research, we found a hole in their pocket the size of a crater. Is this a comeback or a desperate pivot? Let's find out. First, the good news. If 2023 was a dumpster fire for chips, 2025 is the grand reopening. Samsung brought in $234 billion in sales. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire GDP of Greece. Their profit margins are stretching back out, proving that they haven't forgotten how to make money. They are essentially back to being a, quote, money-printing machine. But here's the wow factor that keeps their CEO up at night. While Samsung was busy fixing their balance sheet, their rivals were busy taking their lunch. In the world of AI memory, the stuff that powers ChatGPT, Samsung's market share didn't just slip, it tumbled. They went from owning nearly half the market to barely a third. The ghost of 2023 is gone, but they've woken up in an AI war where they aren't the ones leading the charge. Let's talk about the bounce. Look at this table. It's the financial equivalent of a heart monitor coming back to life. In 2023, their profit was practically flatlining. By 2025, they've managed to squeeze 40 cents of profit out of every dollar they make in gross terms. Why? Because they stopped selling cheap chips and started selling the high-end Ferrari-grade silicon. This is my favorite part. Let's look at the family pantry. In 2023, Samsung was losing $11 billion in cash. They were essentially burning a pile of money every single day. Fast forward to now, they have $23 billion in fresh spare change. That's enough to buy every person in London a new iPhone and still have billions left over. This cash is their fuel for the next war. Where is all that money going? Samsung is betting the farm on silicon. They spent 90% of their pocket money on semiconductors. They aren't just an electronics company anymore. They are a giant factory that happens to sell phones on the side. They spent $33 billion just on chip factories this year. That's like building 30 world-class football stadiums every 12 months. Here is the internal struggle. Your Galaxy phone? It's great for the brand, but it only brings in a 6.8% profit. It's the bread and butter. But the chips? That's the champagne and caviar. The chip division is making nearly triple the profit margin of the phone division. Samsung's future isn't in your pocket. It's in the massive data centers you never see. How fast are they moving? In 2024, it took them over 100 days to sell what was in their warehouse. Now, they've shaved that down to 94 days. In the tech world, inventory is like fresh fish. If it sits on the shelf for too long, it stinks. Samsung is becoming a much faster, leaner hunter. This is the billion-dollar race. They are trying to build the smallest, smartest switches on Earth, 2-nanometer chips. To give you an idea, a human hair is about 80,000 nanometers wide. Samsung is playing with things so small they defy common sense, all to make sure your future AI assistant can think faster than you do. Who is buying? Look at the map. America and China make up more than half of their sales. This is a geopolitical tightrope walk. They are building a massive new home in Taylor, Texas, because that's where the demand is. Samsung is basically a Korean heart with an American engine and a Chinese appetite. Samsung is also shopping. They aren't just making chips. They're buying robot companies, audio legends, and even medical tech. They're essentially building a Samsung Galaxy that spans from your hospital bed to the robot that delivers your groceries. They are diversifying because they know being just a chip company is a dangerous game. Now, let's get real. It's not all sunshine. They've been hit with millions in fines, and they are struggling with safety at their factories. But the biggest warning sign? Their market share in AI memory dropped to 34%. In a world moving at the speed of light, being second place in the most important category is a dangerous place to be. If a global recession hits tomorrow, Samsung won't just survive. They could buy the competition. They have $70 billion in net cash. That is, I don't need a loan from anyone money. It's a financial fortress that makes them almost untouchable by market swings. What's next? 2026 is the year of the all-in. They're launching HBM4 and trying to steal NVIDIA's business away from TSMC. They want to be the #1 car chip maker by next year. It's an aggressive, high-stakes gamble that will either make them the king of AI or a very expensive second best. The bottom line? Samsung is the only company on the planet that can build the brain of the AI, manufacture it, package it with memory, and then sell it to you as a phone. That vertical integration is their secret weapon. They've recovered their health, they've got the cash, now they just need to win the war. If you want the full-page, unedited truth behind these numbers, you need the HDIN Research Deep Dive Report. Head over to our website or shoot us an email. We don't just read reports, we find the stories they're trying to hide. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, is Samsung still the king? See you in the next one.